Hello everyone, welcome to this video here. We're going to be talking about building an Android app without an IDE. So in this video, we're not going to be using Android Studio. We're just going to be making an Android app that says hello world all from the command line. So we're going to be using the file system, and we're going to be using just a text editor, whatever text editor you want. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code just because I don't know, it's the one that I'm used to using. But honestly, you can use whatever you want because, again, we're going to be doing a lot of this here from the terminal. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. So I'm just going to make this here on my desktop. And then we're going to create a folder here. And this folder is going to be called No IDE. All right. So CD, and then we'll jump right into that folder, and there we go. All right, so we are in it now. Let me see, let me get it open here on the folder or the file explorer as well here. So there we go. No IDE, folder is empty. So let's see, we need to do a couple of things here. So before I do anything, we need to make sure we have Gradle and Java available on the command line. So if you don't have that, make sure that's installed. But yeah, we're just going to run Gradle init to initialize Gradle in our project. We're going to just keep this basic. We're going to use Groovy, and we're going to keep the default project name. So now if we look into our folder here, we have our Gradle stuff, and jumping back into the Explorer, you can see it right here. All right, so it's a little clogged. Let's clear that out. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to create a folder. We're just going to start making all of the folders that we need to, and then we'll fill them with the correct files that we need. So make directory app, and then we're going to jump into app. And then we're going to make another directory called source or src, and then we're going to jump into there. And then inside of source, we're going to make another directory, and we're going to call this main. So before I go too much further, let's take a look at it. Here it is. So we have the app and all of our Gradle stuff. So jumping into app, we have src and main, or source and main. So, and inside there, it is empty. So let's see. Now we need to do a couple of things here. So we're going to go into main. Whoops. All right, so we're in main, and now we need to create two folders. Make directory Java and make directory resource. So here we go. We look in there, and we have the two. So we're going to jump into resource, and of course there's nothing there. We need to make two directories or two folders, and we'll call the first one layout, and then the second one we're going to call values. All right, so now we're good to go there. We have the folders that we need, so we are going to leave resource, and now we're going to jump into the Java folder. So just to recap here, inside of our project, we go into app, source, main, Java, and resource. Inside of resource or res, we have our layout and our values folders, and there's nothing in them. Yep, there's nothing in them, not sure. Okay. So yeah, now we're going to go into Java. As you see, there's nothing in there, so we are going to change that right now. So we're going to go into Java, make sure you are in there, and of course if we run ls, there's nothing in there. So we need to create a few folders. So we're going to call make directory again, and we are going to basically make a folder tree for our package. So first is com, then we're going to go in it, make another directory, and you can call this, we'll just call this example. All right, we'll call this example, cd example. All right, and then we're going to make another directory, and we're going to call this no IDE. So this is going to be our app name. All right, and then we're going to go init. All right, so now inside of that, there is nothing. So I do believe that is the main structure there for our folders. So just to recap here, inside of source, we go into main, we go into resource, and then there's layout and values, which we already covered. And then in Java now, you go in, it should say com, organization name, app name. And in there, this is where we're at currently. So this is a good place actually to start creating our files. So we'll just call code, whoops, and we'll call main, we'll call it main activity .java. All right, we open that up. And now I did create this prior, so bear with me. We're just going to do some copy and paste, because if not, this video would be a lot longer. And yeah, so just for the sake of brevity here, we're just going to do some copy and paste, but the package, see, package is going to be com.example, oops, no IDE. Can't type today. There we go. All right. So now, this is really basic. This is just Java code, and we're just calling on create here, and we're referencing our XML layout file here, so it knows what layout file to run from this activity. So I think we're good to go here. So again, you hit save, and we're all set. So now, if we take a look, we have this main activity Java file here. So, and again, if we run that, there it is, main activity Java. So now, we can kind of leave here, whoops. All right. We can go into resource. Let's go into layout, and then we can create an XML file called activity_main.xml. Okay. Here we go. We are in it now, so let's see. I'm gonna make sure I have the right one. All right. So this is really just hello world inside of a constraint layout. Really basic, referencing the main activity here. Yeah, really nothing too crazy going on. We're just, saying hello world from the main screen. So that's what we have here. And now, so that should be all set. Let me actually just make sure I saved that. Okay, good. Thought I didn't save that. All right. So now we can go into values, and there's nothing in it, so we can do code styles.xml. All right. So now inside of styles, we're just going to have a super basic app theme here. And there we go. We hit save on that, and we're good to go. So now, whoops. Let's actually clear out of that. We got a lot going on there. So we're in our main folder. Let's see what we got. Java, res, and we are missing something actually. We need one more thing here, and that is the Android manifest file. Okay, so that is open, ready to go. We will just again take this here, paste that, and then we can, I'm just gonna change my old package name here, so no IDE. So we have the package name, we have our label, and we can call this no IDE app. And actually, we'll remove the app. All right. Okay, so basic stuff for the most part, as in really basic manifest file. So we have our application tag. Inside the application, we have our label and our theme. Inside of, and further inside of the application, we have this activity. So with every activity, of course, you have to reference it here. And then we're just saying we're creating an intent filter that allows it to run as the main activity when selected. So that's basically all we have here. Now moving right along, just to make sure here. So there we go, we have that. And now, let's see, I think that, let's see, we're in source, so it should be just main. All right, and then let's see, we're gonna need one more thing here inside of our app folder. We're gonna create a file called build.gradle. All right, and then inside this folder, this is our Gradle script for our app. Okay, so, whoops. All right, there we go. Did not mean for that to happen, so we'll remove that. All right, and then we just need to change the package name. Example. And this will be called no IDE. So that's our package name here. We're just setting the SDK versions, version code, etc. We have our dependencies here, and we're using constraint layout in our XML file. So again, fairly basic. We'll keep moving along here. So we have those two, and we're set here. So now in the root folder, we need to do a couple things here. So first thing is we need to open up the build.gradle file. Okay. So in the build.gradle file, we're just going to take this, we're going to take this generic script here and put that in our project Gradle file. There you go. And this is very, like I said, generic stuff. You'd see this in a sample template app in Android Studio. All right, so that's good to go. So now we need to do a couple things as well. We need to, let's open up settings .gradle. All right, so in here we need to do one more thing as well, and this is just literally include this app folder. So we're going to bring that in here. All right, and we're going to save that. Okay, so we have that going for us now. So what we need to do is we need to do two more things. So, So we're going to create one called Gradle.properties. All right, and then inside of Gradle properties, we're just going to be using, we're going to basically tell it to use Android X, right? Since we're using Android X, this allows us to use those dependencies. All right, so that is all set now. So we can go and do our last one here, which is local.properties. And then this basically just describes where the SDK is here. So let's go ahead and take that and we throw that in there, hit save, and we should be all set now. So once you think you're all set, we can then run a command called Gradle build. And now this is going to build our app. We're going to make sure that everything runs well and that we actually get everything that we need to. So we're going to wait for that to build. All right, so that has built now, and then if you have a device, go ahead and plug that in now. You can run this on an emulator. Of course, whatever you have plugged in, ready to go, works just fine. So it's going to, when we run our command to run or to build it or to install it onto a device, it's going to basically install it onto the first one in the queue. So in this case, I just plugged in my phone, so that is going to be the first device that it runs on. So we're going to run Gradle, Gradle install debug. All right, so we're going to run that, and that should go ahead and put it right on the phone. And if I look at my phone here, I have one. There it is. No IDE. I select it, and it says hello world. So this is basically how you do it from, in a nutshell, how you create an Android app and get it running and deploy it onto a device from scratch with no Android Studio. So one of the things that this helps out a lot with is with automation and being able to make tools surrounding your application. So knowing how this process works and being able to do this actually helps out a lot. So also being able to just know the very core basic files and necessities that you would need for making an Android app is very important. So thanks for watching this, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.